His name is Gareth, and he riffs bits. His name is Gareth, hence why it's Gareth's.
Good evening and welcome to Gareth's. This is improvised stand-up comedy. Now the way this works is people send in their suggestions that I haven't seen and I riff on them for your pleasure live. So it's Gareth, I riff, Gareth's. That's the title. Now if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe bell, okay? Like it and subscribe. Thank you. All right. And of course, we start off every week with Riffs Just In. Now, every week I riff on 3 crazy news stories picked out by my producer. I've not seen any of them. Let's start. This is submitted by Maura Young. And this is angry cat attacks pilot forcing plane to make emergency landing. Bullshit. No, what kind of... This couldn't have happened. It's in Newsweek. How did this happen? How does a cat force a fucking plane to land? How does that happen? There's so many things that they will fly. I mean, they made a landing the other day when the plane's jet was on fire. The jet engine was on fire. The cat, well, how is the cat getting into the cockpit? How the fuck, what kind of pilot is this? It had to just be pure allergies. Sam Jackson in the back of the plane, like, there's cats on this motherfucking plane, you know? That's crazy. I can't, an angry cat. This sucks too because I want to be able to travel with José. So stories like this fuck us up, you know? Some angry cat fucking up the entire flight. It's, I don't know. I just can't imagine. I can't imagine that a cat gets so far up the echelon of power that a pilot is like, we gotta land. Why, sir? There's a cat. Oh, what does that mean? He's pissed off. Do you want to just shut your cockpit cabin door? It's not going to work. Right. He's too mad. Okay, it's just what should I tell the passenger? Well, tell him the obvious thing. There's a cat on board. We got to land. He's angry. It's fucking crazy. I don't know. I mean, I would not fly that airline again. Okay, entire pavement stolen from Storrington Village overnight. Okay, so Storrington is a great example of an English city that I don't know where it is, but I know it's English. All you have to hear is Storrington. And you're like, oh, okay. And so some people stole all of their concrete walkway, their pavement was stolen. So somebody just stole. So somebody, this to me sounds like an Ocean's 11 deal. Somebody was sort of like, oi, we've got to go to Storrington. How are we going to do it? And they're like, well, what we'll do is we'll take all the pavement from Storrington and then we'll have a warehouse where we'll pretend that we're in Storrington because we'll make the street like Storrington. So it was like, that's genius. Yeah, we'll call it Ocean Storrington. That's perfect, that is. Yeah, I just can't. I mean, I don't know what. And if you look at it, it's like one of those cobbled jobs where it's like not like fully put together, like it's cobblestones, and so it's not like it's easy. It's not like it's big slabs. It's like little weird rocky pieces, and people are like, oh yeah, great, Storrington's road. That's my road now. Fucking brilliant, that is. This is the next one. Seoul GOP vote on House Police Reform Bill says he accidentally pressed the wrong voting button. Seoul GOP vote on House. So the only person who was going to vote for the House Police Reform Bill says he accidentally hit the button. So the one person who was like, we got to change the police. People are like, do you mean that? He's like, mean what? No. Oh shit. What did I do? I put my elbow on the button. I also love that they're voting like American Idol style, you know? Like, I love that it's like America's Funniest Home Videos where it's like the senators or the Congress people have like little buttons that they hit. It's very technological. It's for people in their 90s. It's got to be very hard. That's the problem. That's the problem with this guy is he's just too old. He was probably like, hey, I want a root beer. And they were like, you voted yes. He's like, root beer. They're like, yes. He absolutely votes yes. He's like, yeah, where's my mug root beer? And people are like, so you voted yes. And he's like, I just want a root yes on what? And they're like, you want to control the police. You want to reform the police departments. What the hell? No. I want a root beer. What is that button? Well, that's the yes button. I thought it was like Alamo Draft House. Or A&W, where you pick up a phone and go, hello, I'd like a root beer float. And someone goes, oh, okay, I answered your call. We'll send you a root beer float. And you go, all right, talk to you at my table. One person, I can't fucking believe that. And he definitely meant to. I feel like he meant to. I feel like he did. He was probably like, there'll be a couple others who will. And then everyone's like, you did? He was like, no, it's sort of like when the guy in a movie like starts to clap, like, and nobody else claps, and you're like, yeah, okay. That's like the version of the vote he had, you know? He was like, reform police, yes, we should not do that. No, it's dumb. We shouldn't do it. Let's not do it. No. So, oh no, I left my water all the way over there. I'll get it in a second. Okay. Now we're on to suggestions. Your suggestions, and this week we have a guest suggestion. This week's guest suggestion is from Chris DiStefano. He's at Chris D Comedy on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. He's got a new podcast called Hey Babe with Sal Vulcano and Chrissy Chaos. Chris DiStefano has been a friend of mine for a long time, so I appreciate his suggestion. Interpretive line dancing. Is that a thing? That can't be a thing. That's just shit. So you're just saying like shit kicking country line dancing where it's just interpretive, you know? It seems like a hard genre to be interpretive of, because I've like country line danced a couple times and it's pretty much just back and forth and then some thumbs and then some feet kicking, you know? That's all it is. So yeah, interpretive line dancing would be frowned upon, I would think, at most country and western places. I did tell you my Texas story, or if I haven't, I will tell it now. One time I was wearing a hat that said eat, sleep, fish. I wasn't a big fisherman, but I liked the hat. And I walked into this country western bar with my girlfriend at the time, and the guy says, you're going to have to take that hat off. And I looked around, and everybody in there was wearing a cowboy hat. And I go, well, everyone in here is wearing a hat. He goes, cowboy hat ain't a hat. I was like, you just called it a cowboy hat. You just said cowboy hat. Okay, sure. So then I took off my hat and we threw it in some sort of bag that they had a bunch of hats in. Probably just some lice collecting satchel, which was fun. Next suggestion. Let's see here. Prius. So quiet when driving, they're the perfect murder cars. They are. They're probably a good car to commit a murder in. Like, you know, if you're going to leave the scene of a crime, the Prius, it does make that little like hum, you know. But they also are bad for animals. It kills a lot of animals because animals can't hear the engine, so that's one of their indicators. And so that's why like Priuses or electric cars in general kill a good amount of animals, more than regular cars. I do think that what we need is we just need some sort of, like, you just need to buy something for your electric or hybrid, just a little speaker, that's just going, like, as you're driving everywhere, like, I'm a human in a car. I'm a human in a car. I'm a human driving a car, just to alert people. So, because you don't have the sound of a revving engine, I have an electric car, you don't get to hear that. So instead, you just have a little speaker system set up. Human driving car, coming by, quiet car, human in car, driving car, quiet car, human here. I actually remember when I used to valet park cars, I remember the first time I drove a Prius, I thought it wouldn't start. I ran back to the guy and I was like, sir, your car's dead, I hate to break it to you. That is also the way you should tell people their car's dead. We should treat it like deaths. If you call someone, you're like, Candy, can you come get me? What's going on, Bernice? What's happening? My car's dead. Oh, my God, what happened? I didn't plug it in. I'll be right there. Put a blanket over your shoulders and have some hot cocoa. But the first time I started, so I came back, I go, sir, your car's dead. And he's like, well, you've never driven a Prius? I was like, you've never driven a Prius? Then I went and started it, and I was like, okay, But yeah, they're quiet, so they are the perfect murder car. So that's great. Cruising through your crush or ex's social media page and accidentally liking an old picture. Fuck. I mean, what are you doing? Stay out of what are you even doing there? Stay out of that whole area. Don't go there. Why are you doing that to yourself? That's what I don't like. You know what I used to love about breaking up? You just were like, goodbye forever. That was it. It was over. Goodbye forever. Off you go. They would just go into the galaxy, a different person. And that was it. You never had to keep tabs. And now with social media, you have the ability to be like, I wonder if she's in love again, you know? And it's shitty. It's a shitty experience. But yes, that's the issue. If you're going through that stuff, you know, you're probably scrolling fast and furious. Hit the like button. Now, I don't get notifications on my phone for social media, but I'm willing to bet that if you get one and then they unlike it, that doesn't delete the whole thing. It probably is like, whatever his name is, liked a photo. Whatever his name is, didn't like the photo. You know? So it's just how people know you're fucking not doing great. I think if you accidentally like one, lean in. Like them all. Just fucking go on a spree. Just be like, I don't know. I'm not going to do one because that's creepy. I'm just going to overkill it and just be creepier and just like everyone, you know? Like them. Just scroll that, like it. I have people who do that on my social media. I'll have someone who followed me and then liked 48 pictures. And you're just like, yeah, stay away. You know, it's like, I get, that's how you show up on a radar. Not the good one, you know. I'm aware of you, but then I'm like, yeah, take care. Yeah, but so, I mean, what are you going to do? I don't know. A lot of people change their profiles to private when they break up, you know, so maybe make that move. But that's a sad thing. You're still in love. You're clearly still in love. I love this part. Cruising through your old crush. Cruising through your crush or ex's social. Cruising through. Just fucking plowing through it. Okay. Why do you love Stargate so much? I don't know. I don't know. I say Stargate all the time. I got to stop using that reference on the podcast. But I don't know. It's just very funny that just whole move. I mean, I think it was Richard Dean Anderson. And the whole thing was like, you know, you could send people back into these other times, and it was just this weird Stargate. I don't know. It's just my dumb way of, like, shorthand talking about a portal, essentially, is what it is, you know? So I don't even love Stargate. I just love hacky references. Eventually you run out of references. Eventually you have no more shit to say. Oh, I got to tell you guys the best thing. I was talking to my mother today, and she does like Garifs, and she watches Garifs. But she said a couple things that were amazing. But the best thing that she said was, she goes, no, it was clever, but I don't know. It was too much penis. That's what she said. It was too much penis. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but the fact that I've put you in the position to tell me that it's too much penis, you know, God bless me, honestly. Okay. Freaky Friday, but with you and Dave. I mean, I've definitely talked about body switching on here. It would be strange. Because Dave and I really do lead those prototypical lives that you would have in a movie like that. Like, Dave has a wife, has a child, is a grown-up. I am a child, not a grown-up, you know? So it would be perfect. Like, because Dave would have to play with José. I would have to, like, help his kid play baseball and, like, help be a parent. And not only just help be a parent, like Dave. Like, trying to figure out how Dave parents, you know? Just be like, hey, do your homework. He'd be like, why are you yelling? I'd be like, do I not yell at home? They'd be like, no, you're quite soft. I'd be like, oh, I know. Yeah, so do your homework. I'd be like, I did it earlier. I'm homeschooled now. Well, you keep doing that. I'm going to go to the bedroom and not do anything weird with your mom because she's not my... No more. There's nothing. Nothing. Wait, what, Dad? Nothing. And then Dave would be over here just like trying to get José's feeder to go on, cleaning litter, you know. He would hate it. I think out of the two of us, I mean, he would like a little space and freedom, but he would hate it. Dave would hate it. He would be the one out of the two of us who's trying to go get like, you know, whatever relic we accidentally held at the same time during some electrical storm or, you know, nuclear explosion of some kind that made us swap bodies, right? It would suck for the fucking podcast. I'd be researching. I'd be like, dude, this sucks. I don't know what I'm doing. He'd be like, have fun. I'd be like, I can't read these books. They're too big. These books are too big. You know? Okay. Oh, almost getting caught with pot in Mexico. No. I didn't almost get pot. I didn't almost get caught with pot in Mexico. I almost got arrested for having pot in Mexico. Hi, Mom. Hope you're watching this one. Okay, so a few years ago, right, I'm going to a wedding of a buddy of mine, and I'm in the wedding, and I'm working on a show at the time. I'm working on this show called Flaked. And so the showrunner, the guy in charge, I'm like, hey, I got to go to this wedding for this weekend. And it was our last, I think we were like working over the weekend or something. We were like working Saturday and Sunday for the last week, something like that. So I go on a Friday. My plan is get down there for a Friday, wedding on a Saturday, leave Sunday, 5 a.m. from Mexico by train, take a train, couple trains, get to L.A. through trains, and that's my plan. So then I get to the wedding, and, the first night, I have a good time, but then that second day, like, it's wedding day, and it's all my friends are there, and I'm going, oh, fuck me, I got to leave this wedding. It's fun, and, to not drink at that situation. So I text the guy I work for. I go, hey, I actually may be late tomorrow, because in my head I'm going, I need a shot of tequila. And he writes back and he goes, dude, don't even worry about it. Just take the day, have fun. And so I'm like, okay, I will have fun. So we partied, had a good time, partying it up, laughing it up, yucking it up. I think it was that night. Oh, no, it was the next day. Bought some pot from a guy because I was going to stay another night now that I had some space and time. Bought some pot. My friend and another guy that I just started hanging out with from the wedding, we were walking down the street, drunk as shit. I had pot on me. We were smoking. I don't know what I was like a child. I was like, this is perfect. You can do anything here. See sirens. I'm like, oh, shit. Cops come out, 2 cops. I throw the bag of pot in the joint. 2 cops come down. They're like, hey, what are you guys doing? We're like, oh, hey, nothing. We're just walking. And he's like, it smells like pot. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't smell like pot to me. And then he finds a flashlight, shines a flashlight, and he sees a lit joint. They get us up against the wall. They search us. They find pot in my pocket. They cuff us all together, put us in the cop car, and he's driving. So now I've gone from like, hey, I don't have to go to work today to like, I'm going to go to Mexican jail. And I've watched Locked Up Abroad and Naked and Afraid. And Locked Up and Abroad would put me in a situation where I would most likely be naked and afraid. So they're driving us around, and the cop who's sitting shotgun, he just keeps disparaging the weed. He just keeps going, man, I can't believe how bad this weed is that you would buy this weed. I was like, yeah, no, it's not great. There's a lot of seeds in it. He's like, going to jail for this weed, that's the crime. I'm like, yeah, no, it fucking sucks. So thank you for all your help figuring out that my weed sucks. He's like, how much did you even pay for this weed? I'm like, I'm not going to tell you. I don't know. It's bad weed, dude. I don't know what to tell you. So we're driving around, and one of my buddies is going like, guys, please don't take us to jail. Please don't take us to jail. Please don't take us to jail. Oh, we're taking you to jail. Drives us, stops, pulls over. Man, I can't believe you bought that pot. I go, yeah, no, I'm a fucking idiot. He goes, all right, $600 you guys can go. And I go, okay. So I leave first, run to an ATM, get out like close to $200, come back. By the way, I'm like free. They let me go on my own. They're like, go get $200. I was like, I could just go, but I didn't. I wanted to be good to the dudes. So I come back, give him $200. My other buddy goes away. He comes back. He has $30 that he's gotten. The other guy goes away. He comes back. He's gotten like $70. So we don't have enough. And they just keep going, 600 or you're going to jail. And eventually they just get so sick of us that they just are like, fine, they take the money. They just take off. And we're like, holy shit. And then I realize I still have the pot in my pocket. I'm like, oh my God, I have the pot. They never took the pot from me. So I still had the pot. But then I found out later that one of the dudes I was with had a bad substance in his pocket. And I was like, man, they would have fucking taken us in if they'd found that shit, But it was crazy. And then it took me like 3 days to go home because I just drank a lot of beer on the beach. But it was nuts. It was like, that night, I just kept walking around that night going, what the fuck? Because I almost went into Mexican jail. Wouldn't have been fun. Having a hypochondriac in your squad. Well, I mean, are you? I don't know if you're talking about COVID. Like, if you're talking about COVID, then I'm the hypochondriac in a squad. I'm certainly the person out of my friends who's just like, I'm not doing anything. You know, I have laid low. I have a lot of buddies who tour and all that shit. I'm like, no, I'm not doing any of it. I'm staying low, laying low, and yeah. But I do know what it's like to have hypochondriacs. My father was a hypochondriac. You know, like when I was a child, I'd be like, my knee hurts, and my father'd be like, how's your heart? I'd be like, it was okay until you asked that question. Or I remember one time I had diarrhea, and my dad gave me this drink with powder in it to drink. And I was like 7. It was like Metamucil, probably. And he just tried to give me a cup of Metamucil, and I treated it like it was a glass of hot lava, not cold lava. I was just like, well, I can't do it, Father. But no, that's one of the reasons why my parents broke up, because my father was just so vastly different from my mother. My father was like, if it hurts, go to the doctor. Where my mother was just like, oh, it's just a sword through your head. Go to school. You know? Like, they had very different styles when it came to that. My father was always very paranoid. So, I mean, this is a good time to have hypochondriacs. I would rather have hypochondriacs than, just regular chondriacs. I don't know. I don't know if there's a regular chondriac. But, yeah, I would say, just wear your mask. Wear your mask, get your vaccination when you can. That would be my advice. Hot tubs, fun or people soup? Well, they're people soup. It is people soup, so I think if you can get over the fact that you are going to get into a bubbling cauldron of skin flakes, then have at it, But I still think they're fun. They're fun. Hot tubs are fun. It's a good, thing if you're hanging out with a person that you like and you're at a hotel or something. A hot tub is very fun. I think the rule comes down to this. Don't put your head under the water. I think if if you do that, you're probably pretty good. I think the second that people start to get a little where you're going into basically putting your head under guy goulash, if you're putting your head in there, is keep your head above the water, and then it seems okay, and then shower, but then just leave the hot tub like Frankenstein's monster. Just leave the hot tub like this, and just walk by the pool and be like, can you get the gate? I'm covered in other people. Right now, I feel like I'm covered in other people's skin. I feel like a snake that has a bunch of others molting flesh upon me. Can you get the gate? No cannonballs, gang, no cannonballs, thank you. Just treat it like you broke both your arms. But yeah, they are gross, but pools are gross. I've told you guys this, where I was raised, in England, we would share bath water. So a hot tub to me is like, whatever. We would share bath water. I would literally get in someone else's dirty bath water, or 2 people down the line, their dirty bath water. You were lucky to go second. You normally got 4th, cleanup shift. And then you'd be able to add a little bit of hot water but you'd come out of someone else's bathtub. And I came out I was like 7. I'd look like I fucking was like a Greek man, I was like, all right, how is everybody? I was just covered in like my Uncle Nigel's hair, all this hair from other people, 6-year-old kid. I was like, do you like to bully? Just hairy as shit. Just like, I was like Robin Williams, Ooh, hey, ooh, should we? Ooh, okay, we tried. So yeah, having your own phone line as a kid, it was amazing. It was amazing. I think we talked about this on Pandemics. It was the best. And the reason why I got my own phone line was because I guess my people would call to talk to my mother, and I'd be on the phone, so I'd click over to call waiting, and I would just say she was in the tub, hopefully fresh-watered tub. But yeah, so then I got my own number, 414-354-1102, right? Had my own cordless phone. It was the shit. I think my favorite part was making the answering machine messages. It was like my first podcast, where my little answering machine outgoing messages. I would have crazy stuff. I would just have stuff where I'd tell a joke and then a bunch of people clap. It was super weird. I was just such a strange fucking kid. Really was. But it was huge. It was great. Way better. Felt like an independent person. I was working on that separate fax machine line, but, that never came. That's when you know you're the shit. When you're 10 years old and you're like, fax me, baby. Fax. Fax used to be a fucking cool thing, you know? Faxing. When people ask me to fax now, I'm like, are you okay? What are you talking about? Can you fax us back the information? You're like, yeah, once I get into the time machine, it'll take me to the fax machine. So I got those two things. Yeah, it's like, it's fucking crazy. But it was a big thing. And then that was the other thing that I think maybe my line was also for faxes. So there would be sometimes, you know, when you'd pick up the phone for a fax machine, you'd pick up the phone and be like, and you'd be like, oh, shit. And you'd fuck up a fax. But we would be like, this is the biggest technology's ever going to get. The fax machine and the car phone in the same year. Oh, good luck beating this, 1997. You know? Anyway, okay, okay, here we go. Let's see what's next. Wet dreams in public. Oh my God. I was just thinking about wet dreams. I really was. I was having one. No. Look, as a man who's probably beyond the age of where you should be getting wet dreams, I still do get wet dreams. And it's very strange. Very strange wet dreams. It's interesting to me that your dreams are crazy. Like, you know, like in regular day life, I understand thinking about sex and fucking and all that. It's just so funny when your dreams are like, we also want to fuck. But then your wet dreams are so, like, it's just that cut, that hard cut between the wet dream and the reality, you know? When you're just like in the dream and you're just like having sex, just like, that's amazing. And then you wake up and you're just like, oh, shit. I made night tapioca. Oh, God damn it. The fuck? You know, you were going from having sex in a bathtub or sleeping with someone it's perfect time to update. Good Lord, fuck off. You would just, the hardest cut. I had a dream once that Angelina Jolie gave me a hand job in a bathtub, and that was a wet dream. So I went from Angelina Jolie in a bathtub giving me a hand job, like I was Hollywood royalty. I was in a bathtub with Angelina Jolie, and she gave me a hand job. And then I just woke up 4 seconds later, and I was like, I need paper towel, you know? I went from being like, hey, I'm Brad Pitt in a bathtub. This is my wife, Angelina Jolie, to being like, I need to wash my boxer shorts. Like, that hard cut is so dramatic. It's such a drastic thing. Is it good for you, baby? Do you like that? Hello? I need to wash my duvet cover. Just fucking pathetic. But wet dreams in public, I think maybe I've had one. I feel like where are you sleeping in public? Like, I feel like I've had one, like, maybe when I was napping and there were, like, people around, you know? And it's fucking weird. It is weird. It's like front shitting your pants. It's just like you've made wet. So you get up. I mean, that processing of sometimes remembering you've had a wet dream too. Like, oh yeah, that was pretty good dream sex I had last night. Dream sex. I know what that means. Oh no, you've done it again. You know, I milked myself. I'm sorry. This is too much penis stuff. This is my mother's note. So yeah, they're fucking weird. Wet dreams are fucking weird. By the way, during that, Adobe was like, do you want to update? Which how often does Adobe need to update? Every 2 days, Adobe's like, we cracked a new version. It's like, I'm good. I've been good for 2 years on you, Adobe. I mean, you are literally just for reading documents. I do not need every week for you. How many people does Adobe employ? Every 9 hours, they're like, want a new one? It's like, no, I'm fucking good, Adobe. It's the Adobe Flash Player. Yeah, I'm fucking good. It still plays. We just worked on a new one in the last 45 minutes. I don't give a shit, Adobe Flash Player. Stop asking me to update you all the time. I love hitting remind me later, too. It's such bullshit. Well, I was like, oh yeah, remind me later. It's like, how about tonight? You're like, how about go fuck yourself? How's that sound? Does that work for you? Huh? Is that better for you, Adobe Flash Player? You prick? Okay. Batman on a Tinder date. Yeah, I mean, it would be very hard for Bruce Wayne to be on a Tinder, or Batman on a Tinder date. I don't know. That's very strange. You know,
He would just be like, do you come to this restaurant a lot?
No, not really. I actually don't work in the city anymore, so I only come down here on the weekends sometimes when I'm staying with my girlfriends.
I come down to this part of the town a lot.
No, I know, because you're Batman.
Yeah. Your profile was really great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of threw it together. Yeah, I think a number of those are from a trip to Florida I took with my parents.
Oh, Florida. I don't defend Florida.
No, I know. It's just mainly Gotham.
Yeah. Do they have a me in Florida?
No. There's some guys doing stuff, but they don't have a you, no.
So what attracted you to my profile?
I thought you were Batman. I know that you're Batman. And the last guy I went out with was a lawyer's assistant. So this just seemed like a fun change-up to go from a lawyer's assistant to the Cape Crusader.
Ah, yeah. They got some good specials. I love crab cakes.
Oh, I like crab cakes too.
Do you want to split that as an appetizer?
I don't know if I need an appetizer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I'm not saying I don't want to have appetizers with you ever, Batman.
No, it's fine. So, are you having fun?
I mean, we just got here.
Am I being awkward?
Yeah, kinda.
I'm sorry. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spray a serum onto you, and it's going to take us back 30 minutes.
Wait, you're gonna what?
Spray a serum on your face. Alfred worked on it in the lab. The Batcave.
I don't want you to spray a serum on me.
No, it'll be good. Then I'll start the conversation over, and I'll be a lot more animated, and you'll like it.
No, there's no need to do that.
Please let me spray a serum on your face.
I don't want you to spray...
You know, I noticed a lot of your pictures looked like you spent time in Florida. That's pretty cool. I've always wondered if they had a me down there, but not a big deal, really. Yeah, they have crab cakes, but I'm not big on appetizers. You?
Swoon.
There you go. Batman on a Tinder date.
Okay. Should my mother date my boyfriend's brother? Should my mother date my boyfriend's brother? Should my mother date my boyfriend's brother? No, she should not. Sorry it took me so long, but no. Your mother should not date your boyfriend's brother. Unless you want that. That sounds fucking crazy to me. Why is this happening? What is the age difference? Is it enormous? Is there a chasm between the two? Why are you coming to me for this advice? No, she should not date your boyfriend's brother, unless your boyfriend's brother is like way older or your mother and you are very close in age. But even then, that's weird. Don't you think that's weird? I feel like that's like Jerry Springer adjacent. I feel like it's Steve Wilkos. You know? Like, you know, it's just weird. I don't know. It would be weird in any version, but your mother and your boyfriend's brother. Ugh. How could you tolerate it? So mom had really good sex with your brother last night. Blah! Blah! Oh, there's so much throw up. You know? I'm just trying to think of the version for me. So for my version, it would be, should my father date my girlfriend's sister? That would be the weirdest thing in the world.
You know they've got lovely breasts in that family.
Dad, shut your mouth.
You know? Does Candace have a birthmark too?
Dad, get out of the car. Now, get out of the car. Get out of the car. I'm not even slowing it down. I'm just opening the door and kicking you out. Get out of the car, Dad.
I love Candace.
You know? I don't know. I would say to me that seems a little fucking crazy. So should your mother date your boyfriend's brother? To me, I would say no. Unless you have some really weird reason to want this, I say no. Let her go. Let her find fucking Batman on Tinder, okay? That, to me, better option. She'll like it. He's truth serum. Okay? So I've read. Paranormal investigators. I love paranormal investigators because paranormal investigators, it's not normal investigators. It's paranormal, so they don't have to really do too much. Like, evidence is something you normally like. We've got evidence in this bag right here, 2 bullet casings. But if you're a paranormal investigator, you're like, listen back to that tape. It sounds like a woman screaming backwards in a well. You know? Or it's just like there's like an extra flash on a picture. You know? You're just like, you see that? That's your grandmother right there. That's my grandma? That's right. That flash of light right there. Are you sure? I mean, that just looks like a flash of light.
You idiot. This is your grandmother. It's a flash of light. You know? And then when they walk in rooms, you know, I could do it. I could be a paranormal investigator. This is how you walk into a room if you're a paranormal investigator, and people will legitimize your behavior if you're just like this. Whoa. I mean, I'm for sure feeling something in here. Whoa, they're really... Do you guys feel that? There's a real presence in this room right now. Oh. Who lived in this room? There is some unresolved business in this room. Let's get the recording. Then the people are like, whoa, he knows his shit. He felt something when he walked into a room. I just wish paranormal investigators would arrest people, ghost people. You know? Then I would be like, okay, yeah. Right? If they were just like ghost investigators, that's better. If they could actually bring us a ghost, I'd be like, oh my God, that's great. But instead, they're always like, you see this feather? This is the woman who died in this house. What the fuck? But people watch those shows, and every time they go to commercial on those shows, it's fucking terrible. Because they do this every time they go to commercial. It's just like, hold on, there's something in the room. No, wait, Randy, and then they're like, coming up on Ghost Encounters, and then they go to like 2 minutes where someone's like, this is the best way to get grease off of my pan, and then they come back, and then it's just like, Randy, look out. And then you have to come back, Randy, look out. And then Randy's like, it's okay, I just found this brush. It's like, oh, okay. All right, let's go over here. So they always have to create this fake tension at the end. But they very much do it on those paranormal shows. Bullshit. Do you still get nervous for stand-up shows or other shows? Not really. I mean, it depends. Normally, not really, no. I mean, there are times, honestly, when before you go on stage, you're like, you're tired, you know? But every now and then you do. And you definitely feel anxious in some ways right before you get out there. You know, you want to do stuff. But no, I wouldn't say nervous. I don't think I ever get nervous. I'm like the definition of nervousness. I feel things, but I'm not like, oh no, what if they don't like me? You know, you go out there and you figure it out. And I think in a way, like, if you feel nervousness, you can overcome it, but it can also sink you. So eventually you just kind of have to shake it. Now, I used to get fucking so nervous. I mean, you think back on the first couple times you perform, I'm like, I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I got through it. You know, you are genuinely freaking out. And you have to go up there after people who are not freaking out and pretend like you're not freaking out. You know, you have to go up there and be like, hey, all right, how's everyone doing? You know, I remember the first time I decided to do crowd work. I remember I was just in New York and I was like, tonight I do crowd work. It was like popping a cherry. I was like, I am fucking tonight, you know? And I remember I was just like, talking to this guy. I was like, what do you do? And he's like, I work for TD Ameritrade. And I go, TD, does that stand for touchdown? And I was like, all right, that will end the crowd work for this career. Thank you, everybody. That's the end of crowd work forever. But yeah, I don't get nervous. But I enjoyed the fuck out of doing it. Oyster Cop? Who is Oyster Cop? Am I supposed to know Oyster Cop? I don't think I know Oyster Cop. So Oyster Cop, I guess, is... What is... I don't know what... this is a very crazy suggestion. So Oyster Cop, I would guess, is a underwater oyster cop. I'm going to really struggle with this one. How about... I guess he's just a cop who, instead of... What the fuck is Oyster Cop? What the fuck? I don't know. I mean, these are just two words. These are literally like Batman on Tinder. You know, I see the angle. I'll go in. I'll try it. What does Oyster Cop do? I mean, what is he? All right, hold on. Everyone put up your hands. Now, who here's got oysters? What? None of us have oysters. Someone here's got oysters? I know it. Who's got the oysters? Literally nobody in here has oysters. Why are you wearing gloves? Were you shucking? It's 60 degrees outside. Nah. You ain't gonna fool Oyster Cop. You got shuck gloves on. I am literally not shucking anything. I hate oysters. You hate oysters? Well, then you're like me. I also hate oysters. You hate oysters too? Yeah, that's why I'm Oyster Cop. Your name's Oyster Cop? Yeah, that's right, I'm Oyster Cop. Don't you forget about it. Now, if you guys hear about any oysters moving around this area, why don't you let Oyster Cop know? We actually know some guys who are moving kilos of cocaine. Blah, 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 blah. Nope, 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 no, no. I'm here for oysters. How did you become Oyster Cop? An oyster killed my partner. An oyster killed your partner? Yeah, that's right. How? One day he went to a bar to have some oysters, half shell. Well, he shot one of them down his throat. He didn't make it. He choked? No, he didn't choke. The oyster strangled him from inside his own throat. All right, Oyster Cop. Well, it's been real. Yeah, you better believe it's been real. That's the end of Oyster Cop. Now, if you have any leads on oysters, let me know. I'm the guy who drives that sirened oyster out front. Take care, gentlemen. Oyster Cop. Yeah, that's it. Hey, I'll go this way, actually. Okay, there you go. There's Oyster Cop for you. Don't know what the fuck that was. Oyster Cop. What is or was your power outfit? An outfit or garment that made you feel confident? The first thing that comes to mind is when I used to go on commercial auditions, I would have certain shirts I would wear that I felt like I would do better in. Like there were certain shirts where I was like, it just looks good on me. So there was this one blue shirt I had, and it was like one of those two-buttoned, like kind of Lacoste rip-off styles. So like 2 buttons, striped, light blue. And one day when I was driving to an audition, I spilled a little coffee on my blue shirt. And I was like, oh no, my baby blue, my book in blue. And so I went and did the audition, and the guy I was running the session even mentioned it. He was just like, oh, did you spill some coffee? I was like, yeah, I spilled coffee on the way here. But I loved I loved wearing it for auditions. So I couldn't get the coffee stain out of it, but I loved the style. So I would wear this coffee-stained blue shirt to audition still. And when I'd go in the room, sometimes they'd just be like, did you spill coffee? And I go, oh, yeah, I spilled coffee on the way over here. So I always would just say that I just spilled coffee on the way over here. And then eventually I had to stop wearing it because I started seeing the same people running sessions or directing commercials. And I was like, okay, well, I can't. They're going to be like, that's the psychopath who keeps showing up and saying he spilled coffee on his shirt every day. But I just kept re-justifying it because I love my blue shirt so much. So it was like my auditioning blue shirt. So that was it. I don't think there's anything else that really... There was a pair of shorts when I was a kid. We had a hell of a run. But yeah, I kind of think that's it. School versus college versus now. Well, I'll be honest, and this is what is so fucked up, is that school to me was the worst one. School was the one where I was like, this is bullshit. I mean, you were like 9 years old, 10 years old, and they're making you get up at like 6 a.m. to get ready for school at 8 a.m., and then you go to school all fucking day. It's mind-numbing. You sit in these classes for 7 hours, all these classes, information getting pumped into your brain as much as they can possibly do it. Then you get to go home, and then you do more fucking work, and you do this 5 days a week, and then you get 2 days off during the weekend, and you do it I mean, I was like, this sucks. I just always kept thinking, if this gets worse, I'm fucking out, right? But then I went to college, and I was like, oh my God, college was so much. I went to like kindergarten college. I went to Emerson. I remember taking a class on weather, okay? I remember my sophomore year in college giving a report on tornadoes. I was like, this school is too fucking easy if I'm giving a report on tornado. I mean, I was just up there like a projector, like, and then the cold air is like, no, hot air, not on my birthday. I was like, and then a big swirl happens. So you party in college, you have fun, you can skip classes, you make your own schedule. So college, I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. Well, then getting out of college, I did kids' birthday parties. Way worse, hated that. But now, I like my career, I like my life now more than either of those two phases. College is cool because you're young, but you're also fucking poor, don't know anything, don't know what you're really going to do, and are pretty worried about it. So I would say now, number one, college, number two, and school is fucking crazy. Like they have really I don't know why they indoctrinate you so hard. They should give you a soft indoctrination, not this fucking jam it down your throat indoctrination. But that would be my order. Cheese rolling competition. Yeah, there's I mean I don't know what to say about it, but there's a cheese rolling competition once a year in England or Scotland, I believe, where they just roll things of cheese down a hill and then people like roll with it, and then cheese is rolling, and you know, it's like, yeah, if I imagine, to me, it's what a Frenchman wet dreams. That's what I think the cheese rolling competition is. You know, just like that's like if a Frenchman was just sleeping, he's like, oh yes, that's right. Oh, and then we're running, and all the cheese is rolling by us. Oh gosh, fromage is hitting me in the neck. Oh, it's hitting me in the neck. And then he pops awake and he's like, oh no, oh gosh, in the night I made night tapioca. Why did I make penis eclair? Did someone smush eclair in my trousers? So, yeah, that's the cheese rolling competition. Hell of a competition. If you had to pick one band to listen to for the rest of your life, who would it be? Shit. Maybe the Beatles or the Rolling Stones. I'm just trying to think of big catalog bands. Yeah, Beatles or Rolling Stones. Like, I feel there's like a lot of the Rolling Stones that I still haven't heard, so that would be fun. You know, or Rage Against the Machine, maybe, even though there's the limited catalog. Yeah, so something like that. Yeah, one of those. I would say one of those. Asking girls out as a kid. Holy shit. It was so fucking crazy. Remember asking girls out as a kid? Because you would just go. That's all you'd do. You'd be like, do you want to go with me? And she'd be like, I'll go with you. You'd be like, have a good life. And you'd run away. You know, that was it. That was the whole thing, is like the second you were with a girl, you didn't talk to her. You became insanely nervous. You're like, will you go out with me? And they'd be like, yeah, I'll go out with you. You'd be like, okay. Happy anniversary. We just did it. I know. Okay, well, yeah. I don't want to take up any more time. Play that later. You know? It's just so fucking weird. You'd see her walking down the hall. You'd be like, I gotta go the other way. Why? My girlfriend's there. It was so crazy. I guess you're just trying to grease the wheels and figure out what love and relationships are, you know, but you were just such a little toolbox, you know? And then you'd break up 3 weeks later. Be like, I can't do this anymore. She'd be like, why? You'd be like, we don't communicate. She'd be like, you literally jumped out a window when you saw me. You're like, don't play this you did it game. That's what you always do, Claudia. Just admit that we're not communicating. This is the most you've talked to me in the whole time we've gone out. Well, it's not working out. There's actually another girl that I'd like to not talk to for a few weeks, if you understand. Oh, really? So you're cheating on me. That's right. There's someone else I've decided to not look at or talk to for a little while. Anyway, now that we've broken up, maybe we could be friends. Yeah, I'd like that. Huh. Maybe we should get back together. I mean, if you want to. Okay. We're back together. Okay, will you talk to me? Have a good life. You know? It's just fucking so weird. You talk on the phone sometimes. How's your day? It's a good day. How's your day? It's a good day. I had pasta. Oh, I had some pizza. Those are both Italian. They are. All right. We'll see you next Thursday, maybe. There's the 2 Thursdays, a few Thursdays. Thanks so much, Claudia. You know? It's fucking crazy. It's weird, though. That shit is weird. Stonehenge? I don't have any answers. More like Stonehenge. Those druids. Yeah, I don't really I've never seen Stonehenge. My brother likes Stonehenge. Stonehenge to me is one of those things that I'm like, if I went to, I would be like, yeah, okay. Like I went to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Not the Leaning Tower of Pisa. That's a different trip. But I went to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, you know? Here's my impression of anyone going to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Oh, hey. Look at that. Really is slanted. I can't believe it took 4 hours to do this. Okay, let's get out of here. Come on, turn around. We're going back. That's it. That's what I would do with Stonehenge. Stonehenge would be the same for me. I'd be like, wow, I really did. It's like Tetris, kind of. all right, let's go to a pub. What do you say? You know? But yeah, I know it's like shrouded in all this mystery. But to me, I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm more interested in the pyramids than Stonehenge. Pyramids are fucking fascinating. Pyramids are crazy. Stonehenge, that's the English answer to like the pyramids, you know? Like the Egyptians were just like, no one will ever know the way that we built these perfectly. The mysteries that are contained within. Hidden bodies of pharaohs, hidden booby traps. Hours and hours and hours and years and years and years of countless work. Secret passageways, secret tunnels. Tunnels that go nowhere, tunnels that go everywhere. These are the pyramids. And what did you do, England? Yeah, well, we got a bunch of stones, and they've built like a bit of a croquet set. Are there hidden passageways? No. Well, no. Do you bury any of your kings deep inside of the Stonehenge? Any of our kings? Mate, no, we don't bury any of our fucking kings at Stonehenge. No, it's just a bunch of stones, isn't it? Okay. Take care. Yeah, you too, mate. So yeah, Stonehenge. Okay. Climbing trees. Will I ever climb a tree again? That's a good question. I think climbing a tree is not a thing you ever say, this is my last. I'm done after this one, everybody. You just eventually stop climbing trees and forget about it. And then all of a sudden you're my age and you're like, holy shit, I don't remember the last time I've climbed a tree. You know? I mean, I remember climbing, when you would climb a tree as a kid, whew, a lot of kids must have died climbing trees. I remember being on branches that I had no business being on. I lived right next to like a wooded area, like a forest basically. The stuff we would do there was crazy. You would just climb like thorny trees, hands would be bleeding, you'd be like, I'm king of the world, you know, and they'd have to go get a tetanus shot. So yeah, I don't know. I used to climb them, now I smoke them. All right, yeah. Telling someone their fly is unzipped. It's a great thing to do. I think stuff like that, that ingratiates you to me. You know, if you tell me I got a boogie, you tell me I got some spinach in my teeth, you tell me my fly is down, you know, and I've had a wet dream, any of those, that's helpful. But I think that's good to tell someone their fly is down. I went through a phase where I was forgetting to put up my fly for like 3 months. I had to be like, add in an extra activation to be like, check your fly. But, you know, it's not a big deal. But it is hard to take you seriously. I've been on stage before and people have had to tell me my fly was down. That's embarrassing. Because then obviously like people do all the, you know, someone's like, hey, your fly's down. You're like, oh, thank you. And other people are like, oh, look at him. And you're like, what? And it's like, fly's down. Someone's looking to fuck. You're like, no, actually, I took a pee and I forgot to zip it up. Zip it up. This guy's penis was basically out in front of us. No, I just had to zip it up, and now we're kind of moving on. Oh, we're moving on, are we? Yeah, I bet we're moving on. Now that this guy's penis is away. My penis was never out. I can't talk about this because my mother already says it's too much penis. Well, hopefully you're not going to take your pants off and just stop it, please. I'm just saying, stop it. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's not, I mean, to me, it's like I could give a shit. I could live my life with my fly down. I don't care. People showing their true selves when they forget to mute on Zoom. I have not had a lot of crazy Zoom shit happen, but that's fucking great. That is awesome. I do love that. I mean, some of the crazy things I think you see on Zoom is like when someone does mute themselves and you can kind of watch them talk to someone. Like, I like the mute when like something serious is happening, you know? I'll like pin that profile if someone's got some drama, you know, someone's just on Zoom, like they mute themselves. Then you see them just like, you're like, ooh, that's cool. But yeah, I've not had too much stuff. I have a friend who had the ultimate. She was on a class Zoom and she saw someone was taking a shit. Someone had to go take a shit. And they did it right on the Zoom call, and everyone was like, no, Andy! And he was like, oh, thank God I'm off the Zoom. That's fucking mortifying. I would lose my mind if that was me. Purchases made on payday versus purchases made on payday versus a couple of days before payday. Yeah, I mean, payday is a, you know, it's hard. I mean, because we live in this country where it's like, you really do depend on that fucking paycheck. And the payday, I mean, once you get paid, you've kind of already like got a bunch of stuff built up in your head for when you get paid. You always have to ration it out. You're kind of like, well, that's got to go to that. That's got to go to that. But then you're like, but I will buy sunglasses and some pot. You've got that extra thing. But then purchase is made a couple days before payday. You're going through the grocery store a couple days before payday. You're looking at like noodles and soups and stuff like that, right? Then it's payday. You're not cooking. You're ordering, right? You're like at a bar, like before payday, you is just like ramen noodles. I don't know. That's a lot of sense. And then like 2 nights later, you're like, I need shots for my 12 best friends behind me. Top shelf. So you have your one night. You kind of always have that one night of payday night, pay night, where you just do some fucking stupid stuff. And then the next day you're like, what did I do? You wake up and you just got a pocket full of like 40 receipts. You're like, these receipts keep coming out. It's like I'm a magician's assistant, But you get big with that payday, as you should. I enjoy that shit. If other professions had award shows like the Golden Globes, oh my God. And the award for Best Plumber goes to Bud Jacobs, the clog at Mrs. Pyle's house. He got rid of it that day. This is Bud's third nomination and his first win for plumbing. Holy shit, this is unbelievable. Holy crap. And I do mean holy crap. I can't believe I finally won a Golden Globe for plumbing. There's so many people to thank. I want to thank the foreign press. I want to thank the plumbing at Mrs. Pyle's place. It was not very good, and basically what she had was she had 2 clogs that were acting as 1 clog. So what I did was I basically had to power drive the 1 clog through, and then that flushed the whole system out of there. But there's a couple new techniques that we're using that are actually really fascinating like that. So I'm sorry, I hear the orchestra playing, but I do want to finish this. We have a new thing we're doing where we're basically putting a tarp over the toilet. The music's getting really loud. This is important. And we do but my mother taught me about this. My mother taught me, I hear the music stop. I'll never forget when my mother first showed me a toilet. When I was about 5, my mother showed me a toilet. I'd never seen a toilet till I was 5. Till then, I was using diapers. Yeah, I was a little old to be still using them, but it felt good to me. They were pull-ups, so I was kind of a big kid now. But either way, my mom showed me a toilet, and I said, Mom, what is that beautiful bowl? Did we eat soup and macaroni out of it? And she said, no, son, that's the toilet. That's for waste. And I said, waste? Well, the whole house is going to smell like waste. And then she flushed it, and I said, holy shit. Holy shit, what is that? And I knew from then on, I wanted the plum. And you guys giving me the award tonight for plumbing and piping is unbelievable. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. This is for, sorry, wrong way. But this is for everybody out there. It's for everybody out there. So there you go. That's the plumbing. Red pepper. Okay, Well, I already know Chris's suggestion. So this is Chris's suggestion. This is red peppers. So Chris calls himself a lot of stuff. He'll be like, I'm Chrissy Baby, Chrissy stuff. But Chrissy Red Peppers started because one day when I was working near CBS, basically, there's a place called Pizza Rev where you make your own pizzas. And Chris would call it Pizza Ref. And so he and a few of my buddies, Mike Cannon among them, and Evan, my buddy, we all went in there and we were making our pizzas, and we sat down, we were eating our pizzas, everything was fine. So then we leave. And as we're leaving the place, walking down Ventura Boulevard, we get to a traffic light where we're waiting to cross. And as we get to the traffic light, Chris just has a revelation that he has something in his pocket that he doesn't mean to. And he pulls out the red peppers from the restaurant. He has it, and he goes, the oregano. And then he ran off to go return it. And we had like 4 minutes standing there, and we were like, why did he call the red peppers oregano? It was just crazy. So then we started calling them red peppers. But yeah, he basically it was it was amazing. He had he was just like, the oregano. And then he was gone. And we were like, why did he have the red peppers? Why did he call the red peppers oregano? Why is this taking so long? It was some real CSI shit. So that's definitely the Chris one. COVID-themed baby names. What? How are you? How do you even have? What? I can't even think of what you would have. I don't understand. What the fuck would you? What would you do? I mean, you're just like, this is our son, Mask, and this is Test. These are our children. I can't think of what I like. Gupta? Are you going like, this is Gupta? This is our boy Tony Fauci. Is that what people are doing? I would name your kid Trump after COVID. That's what I'd do. This is little Trump. He ignores COVID. He doesn't believe in it. Look at him. He's 2, you know? But yeah, I can't think of what you would call the COVID-themed baby names. Yeah, like microbes? I don't know. I really don't. Yeah, I don't know. Those are weird. Oh shit, that's the last one. Okay. Well, as we've stated, probably don't need to go back too far to think of Chris's suggestion. I'm going to guess Chris's suggestion was red peppers. Chris's suggestion was red peppers. I was fucking right. Thank you guys. We'll bring out the guest of honor in a second. But first, let me remind you guys that we have a Dollop show March 18th. Looped Live. Go buy some tickets for that. The following week, I have an actual stand-up event with written material, March 25th. That's begins with an R, if that helps anyone. Anyway, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, @ReynoldsGareth, Twitter, @ReynoldsGareth. I have a subreddit, which is r/Gareth Reynolds. You can go there. Merch, there's some new merch coming out. We actually have Cat Gang merch coming out. But yeah, if you want any merch, go to GarethReynolds.com. And yeah, we are hopeful that we can start maybe doing some shows in the future, not near future, but future. But hold on one second, I'll get your boy. Here we go. I accidentally hit his head. I just hit his head on a weight. I feel bad. It's okay though. Because it's okay. Because sometimes you're gonna get hit on the head. Sometimes your best friend's here instead. Oh, that's sometimes. Sometimes we don't know what is right. That's sometimes. And sometimes we give ourselves a fright, 'cause that's sometimes. But at the end of the day, I gotta say, you're the one, you're the only way, José. José. That's right, 'cause sometimes we do bad stuff. Yes, that's sometimes. Mwah. That's right. Sometimes life is rough. Yes, sometimes. Mwah. That's okay. But what matters is you're here with me. That matters. And what matters is that the people can see your sweet face. That matters. But you're my best friend, and it's almost time to say goodbye to them. Say goodbye, boy. And we miss them, 'cause they're our digital friends, and you're leaving. I get it, boy, so say goodbye. 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 This song slaps. This is a pretty good one, I'm not gonna lie. Guys, thank you as always for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Yeah, back here next week. Love you. Love to all of you. Kisses, kisses, kisses. Love it. End stream. Yes, end. And this one too. Goodbye, fuckers. Love you.
His name is Gareth. Hence why it's Gareth's. His name is Gareth. And he rips bits. His name is Gareth. His name is Gareth. That's why it's Gareth's.